What do Hugh Jackman's messy divorce and Taylor Swift skipping the AMAs have in common? More than you'd think. Behind the glitz and glam of Hollywood, there's betrayal, emotional manipulation, and some very strategic friendships. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the real reasons behind Hugh Jackman's split and why Taylor Swift is done playing nice with Blake Lively. If you thought this was just another Hollywood breakup, think again. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop your theories in the comments, because by the end of this, you'll see the connections no one else is talking about. After nearly 30 years of marriage, Hugh Jackman's ex-wife Deborah Lee Furness is finally breaking her silence. And it's not just sad, it's icy. In a recent statement that might as well have been dipped in venom and wrapped in a Hallmark card, Deborah Lee said, "My heart and compassion goes out to everyone who has traversed the traumatic journey of betrayal." Yeah, betrayal. Not divorce, not change, not growth. She used the word we've all been thinking, and while she never named names, it's crystal clear who she's referring to: Hugh Jackman, and maybe someone else. She went on to say that returning to your own integrity is liberation and freedom. That's not subtle, that's a direct shot. So, what happened? According to insiders, Deborah Lee believes Hugh had an emotional affair with Broadway star Sutton Foster. They got close during the Music Man revival in 2022, but sources claim it all really started back in 2020, while Foster was still married. Messy? Absolutely. And now, Foster and her ex, Ted Griffin, are getting divorced too. Coincidence? You decide. And it gets even more complicated. Hugh and Deborah Lee had no prenup, which means when Hugh's career exploded and he started raking in millions, all of it legally became shared marital assets. So yeah, their divorce wasn't just emotional, it was financial warfare. Insiders say Deborah Lee felt entitled to a much bigger portion than Hugh was offering, and honestly, she might have a point. She was there before the fame, before the Wolverine claws, before the red carpets. But Hugh? He wanted a cleaner exit. In the end, they reached a settlement, but not without tension. And many believe Hugh's decision to return as Wolverine in Deadpool 3 was strategic, not artistic. The theory? He needed a major payday to protect his assets before the divorce became public, and who helped him pull that off? His bestie, Reynolds. But that's where this story really gets interesting, because this is where Taylor Swift comes in. So let's talk about Blake Lively and Reynolds, the Hollywood power couple who somehow seem to be friends with everyone. Hugh Jackman, Taylor Swift, even Sutton Foster. But lately, that web of friendships might be falling apart. Here's the thing, Blake and Taylor have been close for years. We're talking vacations together, Easter hangouts, even Blake's daughters making cameos in Taylor's music. But ever since Hugh Jackman's divorce got messy, Taylor and Blake haven't been spotted together once. No red carpets, no Insta posts, nada. Sources close to Taylor's camp say she felt betrayed when Blake and Ryan sided with Hugh during the divorce, especially when the rumors about Sutton Foster started swirling. Because here's what a lot of people don't realize: Taylor Swift does not do middle ground. If you cross someone she loves, you're out. End of story. And who did Taylor bond with during the pandemic? Deborah Lee Furness. Yup, they were neighbors in upstate New York during lockdown. They did private dinners, stayed off the radar, but the friendship was very real. Taylor reportedly felt deeply disappointed when Blake chose Ryan and Hugh over Deb. This tension came to a head when Taylor skipped out on the American Music Awards after party hosted by, guess who, Ryan and Blake. According to one insider, she was invited, but declined. Not because of scheduling, not because of drama with the press, but because she didn't want to be around people who don't stand for women when it counts. Ouch. So where does that leave Taylor? Honestly, in a very powerful, very quiet position. Unlike in her past feuds, looking at you, Katy Perry, and Scooter Braun, Taylor hasn't said anything publicly about the Hugh Jackman-Blake Lively drama. But silence doesn't mean apathy. It means strategy. Remember how she scrubbed her Instagram of Blake Lively posts? Yeah, that was no accident. Fans noticed it almost immediately. And for someone as image-aware as Taylor, that's a loud message without saying a word. And then came the playlist shift. Around the time of the Jackman divorce, Taylor began leaning into feminist anthems during her Eras tour. Songs like The Man, Mad Woman, and My Tears Ricochet. Coincidence? Some fans think not. One Swiftie account even pointed out that her setlist changes directly aligned with Sutton Foster joining Hugh's Broadway cast. Another noted that during an acoustic set, Taylor intentionally skipped the friendship anthem she once dedicated to Blake, You Are in Love. Taylor's silence is calculated. She's not just avoiding drama, she's controlling the narrative, and fans are picking up the signals. But what does this mean for her inner circle? And could this be the beginning of a bigger Hollywood fallout? Let's rewind to 2015. Taylor Swift's girl squad was the Hollywood dream team. Gigi Hadid, Selena Gomez, Karlie Kloss, Blake Lively, and yes, even Lena Dunham. But fast forward to now, and that iconic squad barely holding together. Sources say the fallout with Blake Lively has made other members choose sides. Gigi Hadid, for example, has stayed very close with Taylor, recently attending multiple Eras tour shows, sharing backstage selfies, and even tagging Taylor in fan posts. Meanwhile, Gigi reportedly unfollowed both Blake and Ryan on Instagram. Quiet, but savage. And Karlie Kloss? Let's not even go there. She already had a messy split from Taylor years ago. And guess who she's now publicly supporting? Sutton Foster. Yep, she recently liked a Sutton post about new chapters, and standing tall, which fans immediately clocked as shade toward Taylor. There's also Zoe Kravitz. She was once tight with Taylor, even co-writing Lavender Haze. But her name's been missing from all recent Swiftie group shots. Insiders say she's been keeping her distance ever since the Blake-Ryan rift began. Some even claim she's been attending quiet dinners with Blake in New York, without Taylor. The vibe now? Total division. People are either Team Taylor or Team Stay Out of It. But that middle ground? It's gone. The squad is fractured and Hollywood's watching closely. Meanwhile, Blake and Ryan are trying to save face. Like, really trying. They've been doing the most on Instagram, posting family photos, plugging charity work, even commenting on fan memes to look relatable. Blake dropped a surprise cookie tutorial video last week, and Ryan did a girl dad feature with a parenting blog. Classic PR spin. But here's where it gets interesting. They've started name-dropping Hugh Jackman again. A lot. Interviews, podcasts, Instagram captions, you name it. It's like they're doubling down on their loyalty, hoping people don't connect them to the Sutton rumors. The goal? Shift the narrative. Remind fans that their friendship with Hugh goes way back, and that they're staying out of the drama. But come on, Blake liked a photo of Hugh and Sutton backstage. That's not neutral. That's a choice. And fans aren't buying it. One viral TikTok compared Blake and Ryan to the friends who smile in your face and talk behind your back. Another joked, if loyalty were cookies, Blake's batch is burnt. Brutal. But here's the kicker. Ryan Reynolds is about to start press for Deadpool 3. And guess who's also rumored to be in the movie? Hugh Jackman. Meaning these next few weeks, crucial for Ryan's image. Any misstep, and this friendly superhero bromance might blow up in their faces. So, let's get into the real tea, because apparently this feud isn't just gossip. There's a secret recording floating around that could completely flip the narrative. Multiple online blind items, those anonymous but highly watched insider leaks, claim that someone close to Taylor Swift's camp recorded a private conversation between Sutton Foster and a major Hollywood couple, allegedly discussing Taylor mockingly. While no names are confirmed, fans have connected the dots. Sutton, Blake, Ryan. The math is mathing. One post from the infamous gossip site DeuxMoi hinted, big-name actress caught in shady convo with a Broadway diva. They thought the mic was off. People immediately linked this to a backstage mic from a recent Sweeney Todd rehearsal, where Sutton was visiting. If that tape exists, and if Taylor has it, then everything makes sense. The unfollowings, the icy red carpet moments, the squad fracture. Taylor might be playing the long game here, choosing silence on the surface while her team quietly builds a case beneath it all. And here's where it gets crazier. Sutton Foster's Broadway contract was allegedly not renewed for the next season. The official story? Creative differences. But insiders say producers feared the Swiftie backlash would damage ticket sales, especially with Swifties boycotting the theater after the drama exploded on TikTok. So not only has this feud gone public, it's costing careers. This isn't just about hurt feelings anymore. It's about power. For years, Taylor Swift has quietly been at the center of the most powerful circles in Hollywood, from music to fashion to politics. But now, she's restructuring her inner world, and the ripple effects are massive. Blake and Ryan used to be untouchable, the golden couple, but now they're on the defensive. PR teams are scrambling. Brand partnerships are being reevaluated. Even streaming platforms are watching closely. One Netflix exec allegedly told a producer, "We don't want the Swifties turning on us." Meanwhile, Taylor's leaning into her new allies. Beyoncé, Ice Spice, even Post Malone. It's a totally different vibe than the Girl Squad days. Less curated, more raw. And fans, they're eating it up. The big takeaway? Hollywood's power isn't just about money anymore. It's about narrative control. And when you have a fan base as loyal and as online as Taylor Swift's, you hold the kind of influence that no studio or agency can match. And as for Blake and Ryan, they might recover, they might not. But one thing's clear. If you cross Taylor Swift in 2025, you'd better be ready for the consequences. Because in this town, loyalty is currency, and Taylor Swift is the bank. If you thought this story was wild, just wait till you see what we've uncovered next. Hit that subscribe button because the next celebrity fallout, it might be even bigger. And if you've got your own theory about who really started this drama, drop it in the comments. We read everything.